the bronze technology and the use during the Indus Valley people, and how the people use that bronze technology and bronze sculpture, bronze metallurgy, they use for the purpose of making of what we can say the portrait. In a sense of technicalities, it was again different from the part of the different thing. Here I would like to highlight the terracotta. It keeps a very significant part of it. Terracotta figurine. It is one of the important craft work, one of the important craft development during this period. Actually, if we compare it, the main focus and main technical part of this section is that in Indus Valley civilization, it is segregated in a different part, like bronze statue or bronze idol. Then the application of bronze technology also highlighted in the picture of the dancing girl. Here in terracotta, it is very much significant from Indus Valley's craft development and the cultural and ethical part of it. So in terracotta, the significant part, if we compare it from the bronze technology or the technology made of another part, that is of acetite. In terracotta figurines, the pictures are shown. These are in a very crude form. So in terracotta, these things are in a very crude form. Crude form means it keeps three-dimensional impact. It keeps three-dimensional figure and features. But so far, anatomical clarities are concerned, it is not very clear-cut highlighted. It is not very clear-cut exposed. So these are the segregation and difference of the image, or what we can say the portraiture, which evolved and developed during the Indus Valley civilization. So it also depends upon the component through which the metal is designed. Component through you can say that the object is designed. So the early which pictures or which portraitures shows in this terracotta figurine, or the early portrait shown, it was differed. So due to the major components required for development, required for construction of that object or portrait, the component does matter a lot of making the things beauty, making the things more exposed, making the things more in a very clear-cut way. So where was the problem? Where was the change? It was a stone. So naturally the component of a stone, or if you compare the components of bronze, the character is what? It is very much hard. It is hard and metal. So the system of craftness or chiseling while making the tools from this kind of base, these kind of major objects, major material. So these are if you talk about this stone, very hard material. If you talk about bronze, again it is very hard. It is not at all a stone, but it is a metal. So the technological development for bronze, naturally, it was developed and designed with Cyr-Purdue method. I have discussed in my early lecture. And a stone, again, it was cut down sharply, neatly. That is why it looks well shaped, well designed, and anatomical clarity was very much with that. But here the statue shown in the form of what we can say that in the form of terracotta. So in terracotta normally we use astatite. We use astatite. It was a, you can say that it was a sticky, very creamy soil, very fine soil. So the picture depicted, the picture designed in this terracotta figurine, it was not very sharpened. It was in a crude form. What we can say that it was showed in a crude manner. It was showed in a, what we can say that, very crude form. Not very sharpened, not very, what we can say that prominent. It was not like that. So it looks in a very crude form. But this terracotta culture prevails because we also find a toy cart. We also find a toy cart. So the specific feature of the toy cart, we also find two-wheel cart. We also find four-wheel cart in this way. So in this cart, it is what? It looks like a very crude form. We also find whistle. Normally it is used for making noise, or what we can say that, big sound. So we also find whistle. It is made of, again, you can say clay. And it is still in the practice in the village regions and the rural regions. Young boys used to make noise, chiseling. It is whistling, whistle. It is what? It is whistle. It is whistle. So we find a lot of things. We also find the toys with fills. And this is the toy, and this is what we can say that wheels. We find at this place. Another important thing during this period, we also find the human figurine, mankind's figure or mankind portrait, keeping beard, keeping what? Keeping beard. It has also been shown during the Indus Valley civilization, and what we can say that the hair is coiled. What is that? The hairstyle is looking coiled. It means we can say simply that the people of this period, the people of this age, were what we can say, the people having also beard. The people having also beard. And this kind of portraiture, this kind of terracotta figurine we find in our counterpart. And this shows that the terracotta, the figure picture which images we discovered, we find with a different images, with a different kind of things. We also find birds here. We also find birds. The images of birds in the form of terracotta figurine, in the form of what we can say that, terracotta figurine. This shows that these were the prevailing things. in the region of Indus Valley civilization. So this is the way and this is the idea we draw out in the field of craft development, in the field of what we can say technological development. And these were the cultural activities. These were the cultural activities contributed in the larger part of the system. And it helped a lot making our continuity of culture, making our tradition. And all the things which were shown during the Indus Valley civilization period or time, it keeps a very contemporary impact. It keeps whatever the things were prevailing at that time. So, according to the prevailing condition, according to the prevailing situation, all the scenarios prevailed in these conditions. In the earlier period, I have discussed about a priest, discussed about a picture of a priest. Okay? And these priests were, what we can say that, these priests were, you can say, covering their shoulders with shawl. So, a simple sketch is before you. So, this shows that the curly hair, it is curly hair style, it is hair style, and again this beard, it is also the part of it. So, it helped a lot. It helped a lot of making our culture, our system and its continuity for the longer period of time. So, it is again one of the significant part of that. And from your PT point of view, if you talk about the questions, the trends which is going to ask in the prelims examination from the section of cultural heritage. So, from that point of view, one thing you have to keep in your mind while answering the questions from PT purpose, two noticeable things you have to keep in this connection. The first one is what? The copper. Sorry. The first one is what? It is what? It is bronze. It is what? Bronze. Another one is what? A stone. Another one is what? Again, terracotta, made of astatite. So, keeping this thing, bronze, stone and terracotta, the images which were developed, the portrait that were developed and designed, so the more sharper, the more clearer and the more prominent we find in the bronze condition. If the multiple question is given to you that the terracotta figurines described, and which of the following is correct in the sense of clarity, in the sense of anatomical clarity, in the sense of, you can say that, clarity of resemblance. So, in this connection, you should have to keep in your mind terracotta, because it was not anatomically developed, designed. It was in a very much crude form. And crude form is what? A picture or an image. You can't compare it, that what sort of animal is it, because many more animals that normally used to shown or seen. It is what we can say that if it is four-footed, so it is like that. It is very difficult to identify it, whether it is cat, whether it is dog, whether it is fox. What exactly is this? So this is the remarkable thing. Apart from the difference, apart from a comparative analysis from your prelims examination point of view. So this is concept based fact, and this thing you will have to retain. And we find a lot of terracotta. Why this terracotta? Another question arises, why this terracotta? It must be a simple answer that whatever the things were prevailing in the social system or complete system, so many domestic animals were there too. So many things were in the use of the day-to-day life and day-to-day habit. All these things has been exposed in that system. So this is the critical aspect. This is the significant aspect of this topic of what we can say that terracotta figuring, and the aspect of terracotta, how it differs from or differed from bronze statue, bronze images like that. Another significant part which I am going to discuss about that too, it is seals. It is seals. This is very important part of it. And according to the historical or archaeological discoveries, the large number of seals have been found in the different places and different regions of the Indus Valley sites. And the topicality of the topic and question is that too, purpose of the seal. Purpose of the seals. Purpose of the seals. This is one topic. This is one topicality. What was the purpose of the seal? Second condition arises here. What type of seals? So, objective of the seals, purpose of the seals, and how the seals are made. Manufacturing of the seals. This is important part of it. So seals normally found in the form of astatite. As I discussed to you earlier. What is that? Astatite is the first one. Second one is what? Agate. Agate. And the third one is what? Chert copper. So these were the variety of making the seals. These were the major components. These were the major materials used to design, used to develop, and used to manufacture these seals. And these seals normally possess a different kind of images, different kind of objects. And the main motive of the seal is that to make a significant differences of different design of seals, different types of seals. And on the seals, normally there was embossing of animals' picture, animals' figure. Suppose this is the seal and the picture of animal is what? It is rhinoceros. So it often used to seen on the seals. It often used to seen on the seals. Sometimes we also find on the seals there is embossing of what we can say that this is boat. We also find that the image of boat is also shown in the seal. And many more times we also find the images of unicorn. the images of bison, the images of what we can say that an elephant. So it is depicted on that, and the main purpose of these seals were, that is important part, it is to be noticeable and it is to be noted down from your examination point of view. It is what, the purpose was what, the purpose was solely, it was commercial. Issuing or portraying or designing, developing the seal, it was purely, mainly commercial. Why it was commercial? Because the mercantile communities, the trader communities, the business communities, those residing in the different regions of Indus Valley civilization, they used to keep this thing in a purpose of monetization or purpose of monetary purpose. The mode of exchange, the mode of what we can say that exchange from articles to articles, objects to objects, and thing for their utility and purpose, it differs according to the need, according to the time, but it keeps a brand. The people of, suppose considering the people and the merchant of Sutkajandhar, they used to do trading activities to the merchants of the Lothal regions. The merchant of Lothal regions, again, they used to do the agriculture activities and any kind of trading activities from the trader of Mohenjo-daro. Again, these seals resemble that. This is the seal, and this is the emblem, and this is the, what we can say, that trademark. This was in circulation, and this provides a very strong sense of a very uniform mercantile activities, a very centralized, a very organized administrative system, because the seals were uniform, identity must be, we can guess it, identity must be, you can say that uniform pattern. So this is one of the important thing, and again one of the technical part of it, that the uniform seals, the sizes, if we talk about that too, the thing is 2 by 2, because the seals have different shapes, different design, and difference, what we can say that different circumference, or in other part we can say that it keeps, you can say that different design. According to the archaeological sources, we find variety of seals, or what we can say the design of seals. And according to the variety and design of seals, normally we find these are the varieties. It is a square. It is what? It is triangular. It is what? It is rectangular. It is what? It is circular. It is what? It is cylindrical. These were the variety of seals. These were the variety of seals, design of the seals used in the Indus Valley people. And on these seals, different type of images were shown. And images were pictographic. Images were what we can say that? Images were pictographic. In this picture, what we can say that? Pashupati has been Pashupati is shown in this figure. 5 animals are covering from all the sides. In certain seals, we also find the picture of what we can say that birds. In another seal, we also find the images of boat. And this way, what we can say that this is a different type of picture. It has also been depicted on the seals. I mean to say that simply, this shows the prevailing activities. This shows the prevailing things under these conditions which make a specification regarding that. This is the reason why it has a very strong, what we can say that, commercial motive, economic motive. And this was the idea which evolved during this period, and this period makes a sense of continuity of the time, because these were the things, all the images which is shown here and which is described in my early classes too, that tiger, lion, boars, dove, these were the objects, these were the animal objects. And why these were the animal objects? Because just because of animals were also prevailed, animals were also at that time the part of that complete system. So this way we can understand about the complete things of what we can say the seals. It also plays an important role for building the development of Indus Valley civilization and exploring the other part of the system of Indus Valley civilization in the sense of pottery, as I discussed earlier on regarding that one. In this pottery, if you talk about that, the important development during this period was, another part is that the portraiture or depiction in angular form, we find it was a rare. In a straight form, we also find it rare. So rarely the picture or images were in an angular form or in a straight form. So this was the major part of what we can say the seals, and it is one of the important part of our cultural heritage, that this gives a complete detail, that it gives also a complete detail about our heritage sites, our cultural sites, and contribution of Indus Valley civilization for making an organized and very popular part of the civilization. And it is part and parcel of the practices in our daily life. Now I'm going to consider another significant part of it. It is what? The role of pottery. Again, important significant part of this pottery, that is again very, very important for examination and understanding our art and craft technology, part of that. It is what? The potteries are of various design. One of the significant part of it is what? These potteries keeps various design, various pattern, various style, and also shapes. What is that? The pottery. If you talk about the potteries, it also played a significant role in building and gathering information about the Indus Valley civilization, or the art, craft and development of Indus Valley civilization. In this important thing, two things you will have to keep in your mind. One is the design and pattern of the pottery. One was red slip, and another one is black slip. The meaning of red and black slip is what? The base. What is that? The base. The base of the painting. It is what? It is what? The red slip and the black slip. It is important and significant part of it. You will have to understand it from your cultural heritage point of view. Or while writing the question for the mains examination, you will have to keep in your mind the potteries, layout of potteries, structure of potteries, design of potteries, and the shapes of potteries. So, it is of various design. So, design is what? Coloring of the potteries kept a significant part in which the base is red, it is red slip. The base is black, it is black slip. Another important part regarding this part of the system is what? The pattern. The pattern which was adopted for this section is what? It is geometrical design. Geometrical design. And one thing you will have to keep in your mind, it is also the significant part of it. This geometrical pattern is the base of any kind of design, any kind of pattern, any kind of painting, any kind of artwork, any kind of sketching work. Without the geometrical pattern, it is not possible to make a powerful exposition, to represent it in a beautiful way, to represent it in an organized way. It is not at all possible. Again, I'm recalling the past thing which I have already discussed. In prehistoric time, the people of Paleolithic age, the people of Mesolithic age, the people of Neo and Chalcolithic age. So, keeping aside of the people of Neolithic, if we talk about all the from Paleolithic to Chalcolithic people use geometrical pattern. So the geometrical pattern has been adopted since the beginning of the evolution of culture. And this thing is prevailing. We find prevailing in Indus Valley civilization, and still in the recent our 21st century civilization, it is what we can say, it is globalization. Still the base is same. Still this is prevailing. And still it is the part of the complete system. We can't deny it. We can't, you can say that, abrogate it. So this is geometrical design. This is significant part of it is what? Geometrical design. Another, if you talk about a style, the style was what we can say that animals, pictures were also highlighted. If you talk about the shapes shapes according to the need. What were shapes? Shape according to their need. So these were the important part you should have to keep in your mind. Apart from that, red clay was the prominent feature. What is that? Red clay was the prominent feature. We also find in this connection, we also find polychrome. While making the potteries, we also find the style and component of what we can say that polychrome. And the variety of color which were used in all the potteries were, these were red, these were green, red, green, yellow and white. Red, green, yellow, white. And these are the colors which keeps a dominating features of all the primary colors. So during Indus Valley civilization, it was quite remarkable development that people could manage to develop the sense of color. And not only the sense of color, people also utilize in a proper way. People also utilize in a significant way. And that pattern, that designs are still prevailing in our society, still prevailing in our system. We also find, these are the pottery, this is the one normal design of the pottery, then polychrome pottery, another one is perforated pottery. Perforated, it is what? It is perforated pottery. This was also found. This was also prevailed during this region, during these conditions. So these were the things, these were the ideas you will have to keep in your mind. So the types of pottery, if comes to your question, your answer should be pottery, polychrome pottery, perforated pottery, and it keeps a different shapes, it keeps a different design, it keeps a, what we can say that, different colors, it keeps a different pattern of designing the whole thing. So that is important thing you should have to keep in your mind, that all these things, if you talk about perforated pottery, purpose, household. It is for whom? It is for what? It is for the household purposes. This was designed, this was developed, and it was also came to the prominence. Now come to the point regarding that, the style which were prevailed earlier on, and the same style which is now prevailing in the recent scenario and recent condition. And it is again the part of our survival and continuity of our culture and civilization. That is the part of our heritage. If we talk about pattern, another important feature of that too, one is geometrical pattern, another pattern was, it is what we can say that design, which created a sense of attraction, which created a sense of, you can say that, sense of influence, sense of impact with design and shape. So second one was fish scale pattern. Fish scale pattern. Another, the third one, it was a common feature, it was a common thing we find during this region, during this period, was that it was matte style. It was matte style pattern. And sometimes it is also called matte pattern. Matte style pattern, and sometimes it is also called that it was a matte pattern. So these were the three significant things. I'm highlighting, sketching that pattern of what we can say that pattern of designing the potteries, different type of potteries in different condition situations too. What is that? If we talk about the big jar we find in the Indus Valley regions, this is the structure of a jar. See what way all the three patterns going to make it more purposeful or significant. And some pattern is also known as cross pattern. So what is that? This is one section, this is second section, this is what? This is second section. So in the first section here, if you talk about that too, this style is geometrical, purely geometrical style or geometrical design. Another style, what I discussed to you, it is of what? Fish scale pattern. Fish scale means we also find the concept of aquatic animal during the Indus Valley civilization period. And before that we also find out the picture of animals, the images of animals, activities of animals during the Neolithic period. So the fish scale pattern which prevailed during the Indus Valley period was what? It was like this. It was like this. It was like this. So it is what? It is fish scale. It is what? It is the scale of fish, which was used during the Indus Valley civilization period. And broadly, it also became the major design of this period. So this is what? This is fish scale. This is what? This is geometrical design. And another one, the upper part, upper section is what? Again, this is the upper section. And this was designed on the pattern of matte pattern. This pattern, this is a slanting line. It is drawn out, and after drawing out, again it was cut down. What is that? Again it was cut down. It was again cut down, and it created a mat. What is that? It created a mat. And this is what we can say, that matte pattern. Matte pattern. So this is the unique feature, and this is the unique character which is designed, which is developed during the Indus Valley civilization period. This is the first example. This is one example I cited before you in the matter of this pottery, design of the pottery. Apart from that, we also find the potteries, and that is again the important part of our cultural heritage that we consider it. It is what? Again, certain utensils we find for our household purpose. It is for what? It is for our household purposes. And in this pattern or in this design, we find these kind of utensils for the household purpose. This kind of thing for the household purpose. So in this picture, in this sketching, what is important part of it? Important part of it that the slip, what is that? The base of the slip, as I discussed you earlier on, base of the slip. It is what we can say that if you try about that too, it is what? It is what we can say, the base is red and slip is showing like this. So again this design, this pattern also we find during the Indus Valley civilization period. Apart from that, again we also find a stand. What is that? A stand of keeping the utensils. We also find the stand for keeping the utensils. This is also find out in these regions too. Again, we also find the potteries that is made of only black color. So again, we find such kind of potteries too. We find also a brick jar or a kind of what we can say that a kind of a small cup. During Indus Valley civilization period, it is a kind of what we can say that jar-like cup. We also find here too. So this shows that the pottery were designed in different color, in different purpose, in different ways, in different ideas, with a distinct part of it. So this is one of the major sources. This is one of the major sources for development of what we can say that the whole of the part of the system. Red color, green color, white color, that was the main prominent color of this period too. After that, we can switch over to the another important craft development during the Indus Valley civilization was beads and ornaments. Another part that is again one of the significant part of this civilization was making of beads, and jewelry is another important feature. So making of jewelries, beads and ornaments. What is that? Another part is that beads and ornaments. If we talk about beads, if you talk about ornaments, it is again one of the significant part we have to keep in our mind. Why? What was the use of the beads? What was the purpose of the beads? What was the purpose of the ornaments? A very significant part you have to keep in your mind. The beads and ornaments we find in Indus Valley civilization, it was both for men and women. It was both for men and women. Both of them utilize it, both of them find it, and both of them used to war. So this is important thing. Another which is the part of our system, what is that? Beads we find different bead factory. Beads factory. We find carnelian beads. Carnelian beads. We also find beads coming from, beads was imported from different countries. From different countries. Normally we used to find the neighboring countries like Afghanistan, then Yemen, then you can say the regions of Arabian Sea. We find so many references that due to very strong trading activities of this Indus Valley people, they do have also an arrangement of developing their trade and business, trade and different activities. They developed, they organized themselves. So the carnelian beads was one of the important part of that. Then another part of the beads was that agate. Then another beads, it is lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Then turquoise. These all the beads were sometimes artificially prepared or sometimes it was imported. And some of the beads were semi-precious stone, like if you talk about lapis lazuli, firoza, people use that. Carnelian beads, again agate also. Then many more findings we discovered in this connection to the Indus Valley people. And people extensively use these beads for decoration purpose. The sole aim, the sole objective of these beads were what? For the decoration purpose. We also find the female image, women image of the Indus Valley regions. We also find images. In that images we find women's were well decorated. Women's were what? Well decorated, and they were decorated with using earrings. Using earrings in their, you can say that, ears. And they were well dressed. Their style of the hair was normally, it is ponytail. We also find the concept of what we can say that the women used to dress themselves. The women used to dress themselves in a beautiful way, because we also find lot of cosmetics in Indus Valley regions people. It is what? It was a style of dressing up style. And in this style, the prominent part is what? The hair style is based on ponytail. It is what? It is what? Ponytail. It is like hair we find. People used at that times lipstick and all. So here what we see that we find the images of women, even though Mother Goddess or even though the bronze images, we find women use so many beads. They decorate their complete body with what we can say that they decorate themselves, their precious stones, beads. Beads making factory was also found at this place. And people during the Indus Valley civilization, there was a tradition of using beads and using ornaments. We find bracelet, we find anklet, we find armlets. So all sort of decoration materials, all sort of decoration things were found during the Indus Valley people. That is why the significant part of ornaments, the significant parts of beads were the important aspect of the human lives of the Indus Valley people, Valley civilization people. And one more thing regarding in this connection, if you talk about that too, that first time, apart from the beads and ornaments, it was not only that suffice the need of the people, suffice the need of the system of that time. Here I would like to make a, you can say, amendment in this hairstyle. It is called, this style of hair is called normally ponytail. It is what? It is ponytail. This hairstyle is called ponytail. Like this. This is the lock of the hair, and this is the style of the hair of the women. And what is that? Apart from this one, bedecking or makeup was the part of that too. Women used to keep a very good, what we can say that, use of lipstick was the part of it. Another important thing people also used during this period, it was nose pin. They should also have a very good ideas of what we can say that making, you can say that the part of this eyebrows and all. So making the things or making the picture more attractive or more decent way. So this is what we can say we find during the Indus Valley civilization period. Here I would like to highlight one thing you should have to keep in your mind from the examination point of view or from the part of the system, that during the Indus Valley civilization people, the tradition of wearing beads not restricted to the male. It was also the part and parcel of the women also. Women also used to decorate themselves with the use of beads, with the use of jewelries, with the use of armlets, necklets, or bracelets. These are the objects through which they used to expose themselves. So far dressing up is concerned, we know it very well. During the Indus Valley civilization period, the cotton cloth was mainly utilized. Clothing in the sense of what? Cotton, because cotton was cultivated in a larger part of the system. It is again the larger part of life. Cotton play a dominating role in this region. So cotton was available. People used to you can say that dressed up themselves with the ideas of cotton clothes. Another significant part, this is again the part of our cultural heritage, that all the objects we find at this place, if you talk about beads and ornament, we also find at this place bronze glass. The glass or the mirror was made of what we can say that bronze. It was made of bronze. We find at this place, what is that? Bronze mirror. Bronze mirror was also found at this place. Why the mirror was shown? Because they can dress up, women can dress up. Another thing we find lipstick. We also find comb. So the developing the idea of what we can say that combing. If a question comes to you that first time mankind started combing their hair, your answer should be during the time of Indus Valley civilization. Again, we also find the bronze comb to the Indus Valley regions. So people should have sense of doing their makeup in a proper way. People could manage to develop themselves to present them in a beautiful way. That is the reason comb is also there. That is the reason razor we also find in these regions too. We also find apart from razors many things as the most prominent part. What is that? Bangles, and it is also one of the important biggest sites. It is Kalibangan. The meaning of Bangan is what? Bangles. We also find that women used to keep themselves, you can say, updated with using bangles in complete from, you can say, arm to this wrist regions, complete, full of that. This was, you can say, the style, this was the system prevailed during that period. And this shows that the first beauty, the sense of aesthetic beauty, the sense of what we can say aesthetic representation of the women must have came to prominence during the Indus Valley civilization. Now, summing to the whole scenario, we can draw out a very purposeful, very strong conclusion that the first civilization which evolved, on the basis of that, we Indians, the people of India, started developing themselves, started, you can say, progressing themselves. They formulated the base on this, and our complete social system, our complete religious system, our complete cultural system, and all these systematic continuity is still prevailing in our system. And one more thing you should remember, that the religious practices that prevailed during the Indus Valley civilization, it was based on image-based nature worship and primitive animism. People do have belief. People have faith on Tulsi tree, Tulsi plant. People keep faith on people tree. People keep faith on serpentine. People keep faith on dove. People keep faith on different type of animals, Nilkant. That is again birds like that. And still that primitive animism prevail in our society. And one of the important significant part that should not left, that what is that? That is important thing. That is the, you can say that is the symbol of what? Swastik. If you talk about that, the symbol of swastik, it was prevail at that time, and still it is prevailing in our complete scenario, in our complete, what we can say that, in our complete system. If you talk about this, it is again prevailing in our complete system. Complete system, the symbol of swastik, it is a symbol of sun. So, my dear friend, I delivered my lecture. I have tried hard to convince you, communicate you the civilization which prevails at that time and the civilization which evolved, which got mature, and finally that also came to an end. So the way the evolution of civilization came to the prominence and the way the evolution impacted to our complete system, is still the majority part of the system which prevailed way back 3000 BC, is still, it is a very strong part of our culture. It is very strong part of our tradition. It is also very strong part of our heritage. And it is quite significant in our every walk of life. We can't take a breath. We can't thought it out. Any kind of, you can say, new things without the base of, without that, you can say, values, that without that traditions. And it is one of the integral, it become one of the integral part of our complete socio-economic, political and cultural system. And that India's heritage, India's tradition, it is very, very magnificent. And it makes the difference if you compare to the civilization of the whole world. Thank you. The next chapter will be, next topic will be Mauryan age, Mauryan architecture.